So the first question, do we have any questions or remarks from the homework of last time? The words, the homework, anything that was difficult, was not, yeah, need more explanation, please let me know if you have any questions. This is lesson 2, inshallah, lesson 2. We are going to go over the demonstrative nouns or أسماء الإشارة للمفرد المذكر والمؤنث. للمفرد المذكر والمؤنث means for a singular masculine and feminine words, nouns. We're going to go on making a question, who and what. And we have the particles in the interrogation to make a question, a yes or no question, and the answer to that, making feminine nouns from masculine nouns, and a summary at the end, and of course the homework. So the key information for this, I have two information for you that I need to make sure that you know. If you know it from before, that's okay. If you don't, this is really important for this lesson and for the next lessons as well. So unlike English, اللغة العربية, Arabic language, has either masculine or feminine nouns. So we don't have neutral, gender neutral nouns. Like a car, we don't say a car is a gender neutral, so we use it for it. No, a car in Arabic is سيارة, and it's a feminine noun. So you either have a masculine noun or a feminine noun. So a pen is no gender, but in Arabic it is a masculine word, قلم. We had it last time. A rooster in English gets referred to as it because it doesn't have it's an animal, but in Arabic it's dik, and it is a masculine word. So it's very important that you memorize the word and you memorize the masculinity and femininity with it, so you can know how to point to it, how to make a question, and how to speak to put this word in a sentence. It's really important to know that. There is some key points that you can look for if you find most probably it will be a feminine or most probably it will be a masculine word. So we are going to go into that inshallah today. The second important information, that Arabic is not like English have singular and plural. It has singular, dual, and plural. That means that we have certain nouns for which refers to two. So we have a noun to refer to a single thing. We have nouns to refer to a double or dual, and we have nouns more than two. It's a plural, and it is like the plural in English as well. So we have a third thing or a third type of nouns that's referring to a dual or two things. So these are the two information that I wanted to say at the beginning. We have an example in the second one. A teacher in Arabic is mudarris. I think we also had it in the vocabulary last lesson. Two teachers, it's mudarrisan. Like this mudarrisun, it changes when this mudarris or this noun is coming in a different positions in the sentence, like the brother asks last time, and we are going to go into that inshallah in the next lessons. Also mudarrisan, this alif nun at the end, these that say that they are two teachers, this also changed with the position of the word in the sentence. And if we have more than two teachers, we say mudarrisun. So this also changes because of the position of this word in the sentence. We're going to go into that not this lesson, but in further lessons. But just for now, you know that there are three types of nouns: the singular one, a dual, and plural. And most of them can actually be derived from a singular. So you have a singular one, and you can derive the dual word and the plural word as well, like in English when you add s or something. So these are the key information for these lessons. So we start with the first thing that we have today, and we are going to go to over lesson 1, 2, 6, and 7 in the book. So we start with the demonstrative nouns. for the singular masculine word or a singular masculine noun. So the demonstrative noun in English is this for a close one and that for a far one. And this goes for uh, feminine and masculine words in English. But in Arabic, we have different words for masculine and for feminine. So this is pointing to a singular. But in Arabic, if you want to point to a singular masculine and close, you use هذا. And this one is pronounced هذا. It's not pronounced هذا. It's not like it's written. This one is special. هذا. And it's because it's that is already pointing to someone. So you can say the, but ha is just for attention. Or if you're pointing at something. So there are two different words originally, but we put them together in this word to point to a singular masculine that's a close thing. So if it's a close to me, then I say هذا. So here, this alif is not written, or if you see in the Quran, and this is the surah and ayah you can look into, هذا is written like this in the Quran. So if you do not know Arabic, you can also pronounce it right. So there is a one here. If you attended a tajweed lesson, this is actually pronounced هذا. But because it's not in the word, it's just written like that in the Quran. So probably you will not find it in a regular text or in the book, or if you read something in a newspaper in Arabic or something, but you pronounce it هذا. And it means this to a singular masculine noun. Another thing to know that the Arabic language does not have this is or are or am that you have in English. You just say the word directly. You don't have to put is or are or am or do not. These things we don't have in Arabic. So this is just an example of a sentence starting with هذا. It's a book. هذا كتاب. So we don't have is or anything corresponding to it here. We go هذا كتاب, two words. هذا كتاب. This is a book. And we know كتاب is not معرف. It's not definitive. It's indefinite, right? هذا كتاب. It's a random one. If we want to do that for a far thing, also singular masculine, we use ذلك. Same thing here. It's written like that, but the here need an alif. So there is an alif here, but it's not written, and it's pronounced ذلك. ذلك. Also the same thing, it's pronounced like that, but this one is not written. And in the Quran as well, if you go Surah Al-Baqarah, it's really common. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alif Lam Mim. ذلك الكتاب. So if you look at this first page or the second page in the Quran, you'll find ذلك, and you'll find this one is there to remind you that it's pronounced ذلك, even though in a regular text is not written. An example for that, or for pointing to a far thing, you say that is a boy. So in Arabic we say ذلك ولد. ذلك ولد, right there. So here is an eyes that I'm looking from here. So this is the near thing. So هذا كتاب. This is the far thing. So ذلك ولد. Yeah, it's clear so far. You have questions? So this is what we have so far. We have هذا اسم الإشارة للمذكر القريب. So it's pointing to a singular masculine close noun. ذلك اسم الإشارة للمذكر البعيد. So a point to a singular masculine far noun. You don't have to memorize this. This is the name of this. So we have هذا and ذلك so far. Now we get to the point that we want to make a question. Who is this? What is this? So who and what in Arabic is two words. Man means who, وما means what. And we use it if we want to use for like a human being, something with a mind, something that has a mind in it, so we say man. So we ask, who is this? So I want to ask about the close thing and the far thing. So I will say من هذا, who is this? ومن ذلك, من هذا, this is a teacher, right? So I say هذا مدرس. This was in the vocabulary last time. هذا مدرس. وذلك, because he is far, so I use ذلك. وذلك طبيب. هذا مدرس وذلك طبيب. Again, I am trying to ask who, using, because it's a human being, using this and that. So I will say من هذا ومن ذلك. Wa here is just and in English. So who is this and who is that? The answer is هذا مدرس, the near one, وذلك طبيب, the far one. هذا مدرس وذلك طبيب. And that here means and. Sorry, wa. This wa means and. You can use ma. So who is man, right? And what is ma? The same thing here. You can use ma if you are going to ask about the irrational thing. Doesn't have mind, like animals, plants, non-living things. You use what? So the question here, ما هذا وما ذلك. I have a picture that has two things. Here, a dog and a house. And I ask, ما هذا وما ذلك. The answer should be, هذا is for the near one. So هذا كلب, because it's the near one. وذلك بيت. هذا كلب وذلك بيت. So this is the answer. The question is, what is this and what is that? The answer is, this is a dog and that is a house. Is it clear so far?
Brother, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
But what is the difference between ma and man? Because like, so is it used for just apart from like a human and like for asking the other things except a human?
Yeah, so think about who and what.
Ah, I see.
Think
Okay.
about who and
Ah,
what.
okay. I'm just missing the
You are
very easy
going to
point.
say, who is this? Then probably it's a human being, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
just
you
missing
say
some.
man.
Yeah, I got
And
it. I got it. I just
yeah,
missed that very small thing. Okay, thanks so much.
probably I said it too fast. So just I'm going
No,
to
no,
go
no.
through it again. Man is for who, and ma is for what.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I said.
it's okay to ask, brother. Ask whatever you want. So,
Thank you.
uh, any more questions here? No, we go forward. So, also about هذا and ذاك, there is one particle or one letter that you can use to make a question a yes or no question in Arabic, and it's the letter alif here. A fatha, alif fatha. If you use alif fatha before هذا and ذاك, you turn the statement into a question, a yes or no question. Example, and we are going to go to the answer. But here, example, if I say, so هذا سرير, this is a sentence, right? هذا سرير. This is a bed. This is a bed. If I use this alif at the beginning, أهذا سرير, this turns it into a yes or no question. Then I'll say, أهذا سرير means, is this a bed? Is this a bed? أهذا سرير And the answer is one of two, نعم or لا. نعم أو لا. نعم means yes, لا means no. نعم means yes, لا means no. And this is the answer to the question that starts with a. So if I have at the beginning of a prefixing هذا or ذاك, or even the other pointing nouns that we are going to say, this will turn the statement that is telling you something into a question or a yes and no question. You are not asking about age or time or anything. All of these have their own question nouns, but or question words. Now I'm asking a yes or no question. أهذا سرير? Is this a bed? The question is نعم, or you can make it the longer version. You say نعم هذا سرير. So this is a complete sentence. Another example. أذلك كلب? Now I'm looking from here, so this one is far away. That's why I used ذلك. أذلك كلب? أذلك كلب? If you remember, كلب means a dog. We also had it in the last lesson vocabulary. كلب means dog, and this one is not. So the answer is لا. لا. ذلك قط. A cat. From also the vocabulary last time. قط. قط. ذلك قط. And I use ذلك for two reasons. The first one is it's so far away, and the second one is in the question. So I use this one. ذلك قط. لا ذلك قط. Now what I did, I added this alif to make a yes or no question, and I use نعم أو لا, or in Arabic is أو. So once I say أو, this is or. نعم أو لا, to decide if it's a yes or no to the question, and then I answer. If it's نعم, I can say نعم and stop. Or I can say the complete sentence. نعم هذا سرير. نعم هذا قط. But if it's لا, like this question, أذلك كلب? Is this a dog? Then I'll say لا ذلك قط. Then I have to add this one to say, okay, what's the correct answer? Now I will ask the question if someone can help me answering it. أهذا مفتاح؟ أهذا مفتاح؟ Can
لا
someone answer it?
هذا
لا.
قلم.
بارك الله فيك. لا
لا
هذا قلم. بارك الله فيك. نعم، إجابة صحيحة. بارك الله فيك.
فيك.
Then we have questions. Any questions so far? Is it clear? The usage of هذا and ذلك, and the usage of the alif to make a yes or no question, and the usage of the answer نعم and لا. So notice that all we did from starting of the lesson, we talked about singular masculine nouns using هذا and ذلك. We made a question out of it. We answered the question, right? Now we are going to do the same thing, but for the other part of the Arabic language, or the other part of the nouns, which are the feminine nouns. Now there is a way that if this is a regular word, if this a regular word, then you can make a feminine noun from a masculine noun. And how we do that? We call this one ta marbuta. We add this ta at the end. Marbuta means tied. So it's like the letter ta, but it's tied together. So it has the two dots on the top, but it's like a closed ta. So we add ta marbuta at the end. Not a regular ta, we add ta marbuta at the end. And the last letter of the masculine word, we make it fatha. The last letter of the masculine noun, we make fatha, then we add ta. We take an example just to not to make it complicated. We have the letter a teacher, mudarris. We have the word, sorry, a teacher, mudarris. We had it in the last time. Mudarris. Yeah. Now I want to make the feminine word of mudarris. So what I do is I remove this tanween at the end of the dhamma at the end. I put fatha and then I put ta marbuta, this one. It will be mudarrisatun. Instead of mudarrisun, it will be mudarrisatun. Now it's a female teacher because I added this ta at the end and the last letter had fatha. Same thing with the doctor. A male doctor is tabibun, tabibun, and the female doctor is tabibatun. What I did is I removed this dhamma, I made it fatha, and then I added a tight ta or a ta marbuta at the end. Tabibun became tabibatun. Now, this is not 100% in all nouns. So there are some nouns that are already feminine and you don't need to do that. So they are already feminine nouns, and there are some nouns with ta marbuta, and they are a masculine nouns, especially names, like the name Talha. The name Talha, if you write it, it will be Talhatun or Talhatu. Talha is a name of a man, a boy, but there is a ta marbuta at the end. So there's some sort of exceptions here, but this is you need to know mostly or usually if you have ta marbuta at the end of any noun, that means it's a feminine noun. Most probably it will be a feminine noun. So if it has ta marbuta at the end, this is actually a very easy way to recognize if this is a feminine noun or a masculine noun. So far what we learned, if we have ta marbuta at the end, this is probably a feminine noun. If we don't have, it doesn't mean it's not a feminine noun, but at least we know if we see a word, if it's a feminine or probably masculine or not, okay? So far we have these regular words that we can convert from a masculine noun to a feminine, and we have some other words with our exceptions that have a femininity in itself. Like, for example, a son and a daughter. A son means ibnun, ibnun, which is a son in Arabic, and a daughter means bintun. So it does not have a ta marbuta at the end, and it's still a feminine word. Abun and ummun. Abun is a father, and ummun is a mother. Ummun is always a feminine word and it does not have a ta marbuta at the end. A sister and a brother. A brother is akhun, a sister is ukhtun. I'm sorry. The sister is ukhtun, and still it does not have a ta marbuta at the end. So what we are going to do in this course, any word that does not have a ta marbuta at the end and it's a feminine word, we are going to recognize it. We are going to say, I'm going to put it between brackets that it's the feminine word. So please, if you have any word that has ta marbuta at the end, it means it's a feminine. If it does not have a ta marbuta, then it may be masculine or not. That's why we are going to put into brackets that this is a feminine word that does not have a ta marbuta at the end. Is it clear so far what we have? Okay. So if you come to the body members or the parts of your body, there are some of them are feminine and some of them are masculine, and this is also in the book. That's why I brought it up. Mostly the double members of the body, so the hands, the legs, the eyes, the ears, they are a feminine word, even if it does not have a ta marbuta at the end, yeah? And a single member, like the mouth, the nose, the head, it is a masculine word. So we have a table here. It's also in the vocabulary at the end of the lesson. If you have this key information, then it will be easier to know. So we have a hand means yadun, and yadun is a feminine word, even it does not have a ta marbut at the end. Aynun also. Rijlun also. It's a leg. Rijlun. And an ear is udhunun. 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 And it's a feminine word because we have two. The masculine body members are the singular ones, so, or the single members. So a head, ra'sun, a nose, anfun, a mouth, famun, a face, wajhun. All these are masculine. So if I want to point to my hand, I will say, we'll come to that later. But if it's a masculine, because we have the masculine now, the masculine pointing noun. So a head, I'll say this is my head or this is a head. I will say هذا رأس, هذا أنف, هذا فم, هذا or ذلك. There is a ذلك also if it's a far thing. ذلك وجه because they are masculine. That guides us to the singular feminine nouns, which are similar to the singular masculine nouns. For this, or for the close one, we use هذه. For the close one, we use هذه. And it has the same thing with this alif after the ha, which is not written, but it's pronounced. So this one is not هذه, it is هذه. هذه. Right? And in the Quran as well, if you go to this surah and this ayah, you'll find هذه written this way. So there's an one here to tell you there is an alif that is not written but it's pronounced. But in the regular text, you probably will not find it. And the example about هذه is bicycle, دراجة, دراجة, دراجة. And you have a ta marbuta at the end, so you can assume that is the feminine word, and we use هذه at the beginning. هذه دراجة because it's close to where I look at it. هذه دراجة. This is a bicycle. هذه دراجة. This is for this, right? For the feminine close words. If I want to say that, for a feminine singular far word, I will use tilka, and tilka does not have this alif, so it is pronounced as it is written, tilka, tilka. So about the hand, I will say that is a hand, and it is tilka yadun, tilka yadun, because it's far away. Tilka yadun. Do we have questions? Then we have هذه and tilka, like we did with هذا and ذلك. We say the name in Arabic. So اسم الإشارة للمؤنث القريب واسم الإشارة للمؤنث البعيد. The only thing that's changed here that it's what مذكر in هذا and ذلك, and it's now مؤنث. So اسم الإشارة للمؤنث القريب واسم الإشارة للمؤنث البعيد. So the same thing that we did with هذا and ذلك, we can do with هذه and تلك, with who, what, and also the alif of the question. So I will ask the question, أهذه طبيبة? أهذه طبيبة? So the answer will be, because this is not a doctor, so the answer will be لا, لا, no. هذه مدرسة. هذه مدرسة. As you can see, the ta marbuta at the end made the doctor a female doctor, and مدرسة, a teacher, made it a female teacher. Ma is same as what. So I'll say ما تلك. What is, sorry, this is what is that, right? What is that? ما تلك. This is in Arabic called قدم. ما تلك. What is that? قدم. So the answer is, can someone help me, please? How can I answer this question? If this name is قدم, قدم, and it's a feminine word, how can I answer this question? ما تلك.
تلك قدم.
نعم. تلك قدم. تلك قدم. This is a foot. And قدم is a feminine because we have two in the body. The next question. من هذه? من هذه? How can I answer this? من هذه?
هذه طبيبة.
نعم. هذه طبيبة. هذه because it's closed. طبيبة. بارك الله فيكم. The summary what we have today. Important. The demonstrative nouns for singular nouns are four. Two of them are for masculine, two of them are for feminine words, two of them are for near, and two of them are for far. We make question using man and ma. We make question using the alif and answer with yes or no questions. And how to form a feminine noun coming from a masculine noun. And the new vocabulary. It includes the body parts or the body members that we talked about. So if it's a double thing, it would be feminine. If it's a single thing, it would be a masculine. And the new words I will read, and please repeat after me. This is mikwatun. Sorry, so we have the iron for ironing. The machine that we use for iron is al-mikwatu. 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 Cow is al-baqaratu. And I'm using that today. Last time I'm using a just for changing. You can say mikwatun. So here it should be mikwatu. Sorry. Mikwatu. Because we have alif lam at the beginning. Al-mikwatu. Al-baqaratu. Al-baqaratu. The cow. Ad-darrajatu. The bicycle. Al-mil'aqatu, the spoon. Al-abu, the father. Al-ummu, the mother. Al-bintu, al-bintu, the girl. Al-qahwatu, the coffee. Al-nafidhatu, the window. You can recognize the lamb that we talked about. Al-qahwatu, al-nafidhatu. Al-qidru, Al-qidru, the cooking pot. And you can see here, I put in brackets as we discussed, that it's the feminine word, even it does not have a ta marbuta at the end. So this is a special case. The cooking pot is now named Al-qidr, but if you're going to point at it, it will be هذه القدر or هذه قدر. تلك قدر. Yeah. Yeah, the girl or the daughter. both. Yeah. So if I'm pointing about a random girl, I will say bintun also. But if it's my daughter, I would say binti. So it's a daughter or a girl, both. Yeah. Barakallahu fik. So we can also add that as well. Here, the daughter. So we stopped at al-qitr. So the cooking pot. It is a feminine word and does not have ta marbuta at the end. Al-qamisu. Al-qamisu. The shirt. Al-qamisu. The shirt. Can someone help me read this one, please? If someone wants to try.
Just one point.
We
Sorry.
are going to read, probably one will read 4 and the other will read 4.
I mean, I think you pronounced bicycle different than the written word. I think. Can you read the bicycle word?
الدراجة.
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 Is shadda on the dal or ra?
On the ra. Also on the ra. Sorry, we have here.
Both. Okay.
We have shadda here as well.
الدراجة.
No, it should be. No, just 1 second. It should be yeah, الدراجة.
Because
Okay.
I heard like the written and the pronunciation is a bit different.
الدراجة.
الدراجة.
الدراجة. If you take the alif lam away, if you take this away, dal will be just fatha, so it will be دراجة. But because it's the dal and it's a, if you remember, it's a solar word, so we don't pronounce the lam and we add shadda here. So now it's الدراجة. Yeah. Can you read the first 4, please?
Okay. المكواة.
نعم.
البقرة.
نعم.
الدراجة.
نعم.
what is it? المئة المئقة.
الملعقة.
الملأقة. Okay.
الملعقة. بارك الله فيك. The next 4 are easier. Someone wants to help? نعم. 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 There's a difference between ka and qa. القهوة. نعم. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. القميص. نعم. So, mashallah, the pronunciation is good for you two brothers. And if it's not good, please practice on these. And you can also refer to the book. There's the examples that we have today. There's like 3 or 4 times these examples in the chapters that I mentioned. The homework is going to be a little bit different this time. So please read the lesson and see the new information. Memorize the new vocabulary as much as possible. And in your notebook, please answer these questions. So the questions have a picture, and these are screenshots from the book using ماذا and a yes and or no question. And there's also an exercise that you need to use tilka or ذلك. These are for feminine and masculine words from if you're going to point to a far thing. And based on the word, you need to use tilka or dhalika. So you basically need to look for any word that we have that's a feminine word, or a word that has a ta marbuta at the end, or like qidr, it's a special case. So that's it for today. Any questions, remarks?
Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
Wafikum. Inshallah, see you next lesson.
بارك الله فيك.
السلام عليكم.
Assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم.